Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle. My name's Simon and I'm in our shed with my good friend Carl. As award season progresses and the Oscars approach, we thought it might be nice for us to get our Oscars predictions on the record and make a little game out of it, with the winner taking all the glory. So strap yourselves in as we share our opinions, educated guesses and wild stabs in the dark in the Move the Needle Oscars Prediction Special.
Right, we're off.
Oscars,
baby.
2025 or 2024. I still don't know.
They are called the 2025 Oscars.
Yeah, fine. But films in 2024. Cool.
Mostly films in 2024.
Mostly, yes. Yeah. Apart from one which I watched, I'm sure it said 2023.
Yeah, there's like a short in there that's from 2023.
But anyway, we're here. So what we're doing is we are getting our predictions on the record, as I just said. So we are going to reveal the nominees for each category. We'll have a quick chat about any that we feel necessary, but not much. And then we're each going to predict which one we think will win and which may not, probably won't be the one we want to win. And we're going to say which one's our first choice, which one's our second choice. First choice will give us, 3 points?
3 points.
Second choice, if that wins, get us 1 point. And then there's also some special tokens that we can score at the end as well. So we can each play a joker. So that's the one we're most confident with of our own prediction. That'll score double the points if it comes in. And also a long shot. So the category that we think we're most confident you'll get wrong. So I'll put my long shot on a category that I think you've got completely wrong. And if I'm in fact wrong, you will score double points.
You'll be spoiled for choice.
Well, yes. And then after the 3rd of March, which I think is when the Oscars is, we'll tot up the scores, and the winner will take the glory, which will be to watch Whiplash or something else, some other reward.
Almighty.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
You can come up with a reward if you win, I suppose. Or punishment for the loser. Might be more fun.
Yeah. I can only think of arses.
Arses?
Something involved with arses. I don't know.
But so our voices don't run dry, Carl. I feel like we should probably unveil a predictions ale. Is it just a lager, though? So
yeah,
it's a bit grand.
We're going straight down the line. These are usually pre-pod lagers.
They are, but now they are during mini pod lagers.
Just pod lagers, I think you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pod lagers, mini pod lagers.
Red Stripe.
Red Stripe, gig beer. Thank you very much. And let's just crack that open.
Yeah, gig beer. Has Red Stripe appeared on the podcast before? Have we just talked about
I
it?
feel like it has, yeah. Well, we definitely talked about it. Was it? I feel like,
Cocktail.
yes, I was going to say it was one that was set somewhere Caribbean-y. Okay, let's kick things off with our first category, Best Adapted Screenplay. Nominees are, I'm not reading I'm just reading the films.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apart from one of them. A Complete Unknown by Jay Cox.
Hey!
Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing.
This is a 5 out of 5 for me in terms of having seen them.
Me too. Wait, have you seen Sing Sing?
I have.
Oh, good stuff. Yes, I've also seen all these. That's good. Any early ones that you would want to win, Carl?
I would want to win on this one. Conclave, I think.
Based on a book by, what's his face? Thomas Harris, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, good. Yeah, full-time good lad.
Yeah. I would want Sing Sing to win. Big fan of Sing Sing.
5 stars.
Big liker.
Not surprising. Soft as shit.
What do you think's going to win?
I think my number 1 pick is A Complete Unknown.
Okay. My number 1 pick is Nickel Boys.
Okay. That is my number 2 pick.
Oh, interesting. Because The Complete Unknown was my number 2 pick. So,
yeah, so one of us, if it is one of those, one of us is going to get a 2-point lead over the other. One of us
interesting.
Get 3 points, one of us get 1 point. So already the scoring system paying dividends. What will be the full banter choice now is if it's Conclave and none of us get any points, it doesn't fucking matter what we picked. So
there we go.
So there we go.
Okay, so we've done adapted screenplay. Moving on to original screenplay. So none of this copying other people's work nonsense. This has come from your own brain. We've got Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance.
I haven't seen September 5.
So I do want to ask, I'm saying that like a American, September 5. It's the 5th of September, I want to call it.
Yeah, why not?
What should I do?
Whatever you want, mate. Special original screenplay. Nobody cares about this one anyway. So.
It's true, it doesn't appear very many other places.
It'll be one of those where they don't even get up on stage, probably.
So yeah, I've not seen The Brutalist. That is out all September 5. So can't really comment on that one, but does that matter? No. I think The Brutalist will win.
Yeah, interesting. I'm going for A Real Pain.
Interesting. Okay. For number 1, okay.
Yeah.
And your second choice?
It's The Brutalist.
So mine's a Nora.
Yeah. I'm not screenplay. Though. I'm not. Look, we're straight into what's a screenplay. What are you specifically?
It's the written down bit that people read.
Yeah, you're rewarding there that you're not doing for like director or all that sort of stuff.
What I'd love is if the people that voted for that hadn't seen any of the films. They just read it. They just read the screenplay and went, "Oh yeah, that's a good one."
Yeah.
None of them are going to have read the screenplays, are they? They're just basing it on what's on screen.
No, yeah. The Brutalist is long. It's really long. And
Academy will love
I
it.
don't know how well that plays into certain awards. And again, this comes from a place of complete amateurishness.
Do you think?
I don't really know what they're going to be rewarding, what they're looking for when they're talking about screenplay. But
Are you going for Jesse Eisenberg as your?
yeah, I feel like that was quite a tight piece of work.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean.
I do.
Very, very dialogue heavy. Where The Brutalist perhaps isn't so much. I mean, there is plenty of dialogue in The Brutalist, but it's so much more spread out. It doesn't leap out at you in the same way.
It being 3.5 hours long, it does that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't decide whether you like The Brutalist, by the way. It might be too
Probably.
art house for you.
Oh, is it? I thought it was quite. I thought it was fairly mainstreamy. No.
It's definitely accessible. It's not like complete wank. But there is definitely some art housey vibes.
Does it explain everything to me simply? Do I have to do the work myself? That's where I fall over. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Best original song.
Right.
So I'm going to be honest here. Although I have seen 1, 2, 3 of the... two of them are the same film. I've seen Emilia Perez and Sing Sing. I've not seen Elton John, Never Too Late. Never heard of don't know what that is. And the 6... Oh, no, wait. Never Too Late. That's the film. No, wait, is that the song? I'm very confused.
Never Too Late is the song.
Okay. And it's in the film Elton John, Never Too Late.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Still don't know what that is.
No, me neither.
I quite like Elton John. Never heard of it. El Mal, Emilia Perez. I mean, all the songs of Emilia Perez were absolute garbage. So
Yeah, so this is a good time, I think, on Best Original Song to talk about Emilia Perez a little bit. Because we've both seen this now.
yeah, and it's nominated twice for Mi Camino as well.
I mean, it's nominated, 13 times overall?
12, 13 here, something like that.
Crazy. I know you've summed up your thoughts to me in an emoji, but you haven't yet written a review.
It was brown and pointy. No, I did do a post on an immediate reaction post on Bluesky. Turns out there's a lot of people who get fired up about Emilia Perez. It's good. But no, my basic premise was I don't understand why it was a musical. First off, didn't make any sense.
No.
And the songs are all fucking weird and shit.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So didn't get it. I did not like.
No.
Bad. I felt it was bad.
I think the saving grace is Sophia, whatever her name is, Gascon,
Yeah.
has effectively cancelled herself and possibly the whole movie.
Yes. I think there might be a token win for it somewhere.
Yeah.
I feel that might be here.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Because it's a song, you're not, kind of separate to the acting, directing, all of that side of things. So I've picked, of the two, I went for El Mal.
And that's your first one, is it?
That's number one.
My number one, and this is somewhat tactical again, because I feel like this film will definitely be one that the Academy want to reward, but they're not going to do it in other categories. So I've gone for Like a Bird from Sing Sing.
Okay, it's not nominated for many categories. There's only 2 or 3, I think.
And that sort of plays into it as well.
Should have been more. Should have been wider. I would have thought. I will say there wasn't. I can't remember the song in Sing Sing. Like there wasn't one that I was like, ooh.
No, I have to say I'm the same. Yeah,
I don't know.
But it's there and it's nominated.
So I've just scared myself because I just put a number 2 next to the other Emilia Perez song, so it now reads Emilia Perez 2, and oh my god, please don't be a sequel.
Oh yeah, imagine.
So I'm hedging my bets. I'm going for Emilia Perez will win. I just don't know which one, so I'm going to go for both of those.
So
my
go
second
for
choice.
Mi Camino. As
Mi
your number
Camino.
2.
Yeah. What's your number 2?
My number 2, and I have not seen this. I am basing it on the fact that I reckon the Academy have got a soft spot
For Elton John.
for him. It's the Elton John.
Yeah,
number
that's
2,
a good
mate.
call. It's a good shout. I think they do. I think he's won quite a few Oscars, hasn't he, for songs. So, there you go. Okay, keeping with the music-y type stuff. Best original score. Okay, so we've got The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
So you'll
Nice.
be 5 out of 5 on this one.
Oh,
Brutalist you haven't seen. You're
Not
4 out of
Brutalist,
5.
yeah, 4 out of 5.
I haven't seen The Wild Robot. I've seen the rest.
Yeah, you'll love The Wild Robot.
Yeah, I suspect I probably will.
I'm going for Conclave as my first choice here for original score.
Now, we did both enjoy Conclave to differing levels.
Yes.
I found it a weird choice that was nominated for score. Because I don't remember the score leaping out, but you're pulling it out for your first pick.
So it's a little bit tactical and similar to what you were saying with Sing Sing, but I think they'll reward it in some places. And I don't think it's going to be picking up the huge, big awards. I think it will get stuff like this.
That makes sense.
But yeah, that's my thinking.
Makes sense. Okay,
What are you
so
going for?
your number 1 is Conclave. My number 1, Wicked.
Okay.
Let me tell you, wouldn't be my fucking pick.
No, but this is what you think, right?
Yeah, but I do think that's what's going to win the best original score.
Is it original score though? Have they not just copied the theatre?
Yeah, it's weird.
Or
all
it's
this sort of thing,
inspired
isn't
by it, right?
I also find it kind of weird that it's in for score and not song.
Maybe they just couldn't pick over the terrible Emilia Perez
they
ones.
picked 2 Emilia Perez ones for crying out loud. Yeah. Okay. So what's
my
your
second
number 2?
choice was Wicked. Yeah.
Your second choice is Wicked.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 2, and I probably would say this is the best score on here of the things I've watched, Wild Robot aside, is The Brutalist.
Oh yeah, you were just saying you liked that.
Yeah. It is a long film, and I would say it's quite a slow film, but it did manage to stay engaging, and I think the score's a big part of that.
Very good. Okay, now we're getting into territory of definitely not seen all of them. So best international feature, only seen 2 of these. So there's I'm Still Here, that's from Brazil. The Girl with the Needle, that's from Denmark. Emilia Perez, that's from fucking who knows, France apparently.
France, yeah, the director's French.
Okay. The Seed of the Sacred.
And let me tell you, I've seen him called a lot a racist Frenchman. The old Mexican. He's not gone down with the old Mexicans.
No. He tried to do something, I think, but The Seed of the Sacred Fig, great name, from Germany, and Flow from Latvia.
Now capybara thing, isn't it?
Yes, there is a capybara in it. Yes, my
yeah.
So I really like Flow.
So you've seen Flo and Emilia Perez, have you?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen I'm Still Here. And
Oh,
Emilia
you've seen
Perez.
it. Oh, good. Yeah. Nice. Do you like it?
I did like it. Yeah. Not because it's nominated for one of the big ones.
It is Best Picture. Yes.
Yeah, and Best Actress as well. Mm-hmm. Best Actress, maybe. Not sure about Best Picture. I think, tip my hat a little bit. Feels like a weak year to me. This, but I did enjoy it.
So what's your number 1 pick?
My number 1 pick for Best International Feature Film is indeed I'm Still Here.
Mine too. Based on nothing apart from I don't think it'll win Best Picture, so I think they'll give it something here.
I just have a quick look down, and I thought this would happen a lot more. Amazingly,
This is the first
that's the first one where we
first match.
both agreed on a first pick. So we are going to get Imagine if we still finish on level points after all this. We'll have to smack both of our asses.
Again?
I don't know where that's come from. You said glory, and my mind went to forfeit, and you do forfeit, and I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you don't need to explain your perverted mind. It's fine.
Look, the rugby's been on a lot recently. It goes hand in hand.
All right. Okay. Number 2 for you?
Right, okay. Which one are we doing? I've lost where we are.
The best international feature.
Best international feature, right, okay. My number 2.
He's all thrown off with arses. He can't concentrate on anything.
He loves a bit of arse, bless him. Oh, dear.
Second choice.
Second choice, right. Still stalling for time here. Right, second choice. My number 2 is, and I've not seen this one, but I have heard only good things about it. It's Flow.
Yeah. So, I am going for...
You're not going to chuck Emilia Perez.
No, The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
All right, where's this come from?
Sounds brilliant. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Look, I told you there'll be some mad stabs in the dark here. If I just base on what I've seen, then I would
no.
put a bit Flow. But
you don't need to have seen them to pick up on the buzz around them either. So
yeah, it sounds good. Like, I imagine if I was some two-bit actor who'd been picked to read out the winner of this one, The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So I think, why not?
Good stuff.
That's how I pick my horses in the Grand National. Which one sounds good or winning?
Yeah.
Okay. Best animated feature. So I have seen 4 of the 5 of these.
Yeah, it's a slow year for me on this. I've seen 1.
Oh dear. So it's Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot.
So you haven't seen Memoir of a Snail?
I haven't seen Memoir of a Snail, no. It's on my watch list, though.
Yeah, the only one I've seen is Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul.
I haven't picked my second choice for this one. I'm going to pick that one. There we go. So I am... what I want to win, I think I want Flow to win.
Yeah.
Just because it is a bit different and I like that. I think The Wild Robot's going to win.
Okay. So I'm kind of hedging my bets a little bit here. Because I put, for Best International Feature Film, I put Flow as my second choice.
Yeah, so you're going with
Now,
that.
I don't think Flow is going to win Best International Feature Film and Best Animated Feature Film.
No.
But it might win one of them. So my first choice in this category is Flow.
Okay. And my second choice is Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, so's mine. It's got Oscar pedigree. It's been a long time since there's been a Wallace and Gromit. I mean, that could even be number 1. But yeah, it's going to be in the mix, I think.
Indeed. Okay. Now we move on to one I've seen none of. Best documentary feature. So we've got Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'Etat, and Sugarcane.
Do you want to know what they're about?
No.
Fair enough. Huh?
Have you seen any of them?
I've not seen any of them.
Do you want to see any of them based on their names?
I mean, I can give you a quick line of
go on
what
then.
they're each about. So, Black Box Diaries. This is a Japanese film that explores a courageous journey to expose sexual violence.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. No Other Land. This collaborative work by Palestinian and Israeli filmmakers. Obviously getting into all the shit that's going on with that.
Yep. I thought it might have been called The Land Before Mine.
Yeah, very good.
No?
Yeah, I was a bit insensitive, but that's fine. That'll be what gets you cancelled. I mean, God knows there's enough to go at.
Yeah, if that's what they pick.
Porcelain War,
Yep.
which is a documentary that delves into the intricate relationship between art and conflict.
Sounds shit.
It just sounds shit. Soundtrack to a coup d'etat.
I said coup d'etat. That was bad, wasn't it?
Did you?
Yeah. I was like, coup d'etat, I was thinking there.
This film intertwines the worlds of jazz and political upheaval.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Sugarcane.
And
Is that about
sugarcane.
sugarcane?
It explores the abuse and missing children in the Canadian Indian residential school system.
Oh, that seems misnamed. Never cheery, are they, documentaries? Why can't you make a happy one?
Yeah.
Come on. Turn that frown upside down,
I
documentary
mean,
makers.
I'll say, based on that, I think there's a clear number 1 here. And I think it's No Other Land. I think it's the Palestinian-Israeli collab.
I did mine based on not knowing what the fuck they were. So I went for Sugarcane as my first one. But now I know what they are. I'm going for No Other Land as number 2 because yes, they're clearly going to spew all over that.
Yeah. So my number 1 being No Other Land, and my number 2 is Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat.
Or a crudité.
A coup d'etat. Indeed.
What would the soundtrack to a crudité be?
I mean,
If anyone's listening, let us know what you think. Soundtrack to a crudité.
yeah.
Oh dear. Okay, we move on to our specialist subject now. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Best costume design.
Yeah. Let me find that one on my list.
So we have Wicked, Nosferatu, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, and Gladiator 2, making one of its, I think, only appearances. Gladiator 2. I don't think it makes. I think one of its only appearances. Yeah, that's right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
You haven't seen Gladiator 2 yet?
I've not seen Gladiator 2 or Nosferatu. Nosferatu, I almost went to the cinema to see it. I just decided that I think it was wanky shit. And decided I couldn't be bothered and I'd save my money. I'll catch it when it comes on streaming. But it's bad of me, really. I was very almost going to go.
Very almost.
Yeah. I just couldn't face it.
Yeah.
But I reckon it does have some wicked costume design, but not as wicked as Wicked. So I'm going number 1, Wicked, number 2, Nosferatu.
Yeah, I mean, my number 1 is Wicked as well. I think this is almost a shoo-in. So your number 2 is Nosferatu. My number 2 is a film we have both seen.
Conclave?
No.
A Complete Unknown?
Complete Unknown. We remarked on
We did.
the
And we don't
attention
know
to
anything.
detail and how well it looks.
Yeah.
And I think, by extension of that, it might have a shot at costume design.
Good shout. Don't worry, people. There's only 7 more of the shit ones to go.
This is what it's like watching the Oscars.
I know, I was so thinking, should I watch it this year?
Yeah.
And then I remembered how long it is and how dull it is.
Like a Sunday night as well.
Unless there's some actual bodily harm, it's just, there's no point. Or someone fucks up the reading out of the winner. I mean, which you'll just watch on YouTube the next day. So, yeah. Right. Best makeup and hairstyling. My specialist subject.
Only on a weekend, etc., 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 etc.
I meant more because I was bald, but that's fine. So we've got A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked again. So I have gone number 1, A Different Man.
Oh, what's A Different Man about?
You're going to get me in trouble again. So this is Sebastian
is this the
Stan.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the.
Neither can I,
disorder,
Carl.
but yeah.
Neither can I. But it's not Proteus syndrome because that's what the Elephant Man had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's that.
Yeah.
And your number one?
I didn't realise that was that. That's not a bad shout. My number 1 is Wicked.
Yeah, I can see you going for the theme, costume,
Yeah.
makeup, hairstyle.
And again, I'm not sure it'll win both of those. But yeah, I think it's gonna hoover at one of those.
Okay, well, my second choice is The Substance.
Yes, my second choice is The Substance as well.
Okay. Best production design. Don't know. You? No. Is that sets and stuff?
Yeah, that's kind of where I always lean to.
Anyway, Wicked again. Cleaning up on the old, what do they call these? Technical categories, do they call them? I don't know. The Brutalist, June Part 2, Nosferatu, and Conclave 2.
Conclave 2? Oh, and Conclave 2. Yeah, very good.
You like that?
Yes, very
That's
good.
quite good.
Makes me think of Rita, Sue and Bob 2. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Have you not?
I don't know, have I?
It's a classic.
Sue and Bob 2. No.
It's an absolute classic. A randy, sort of 80s British classic.
Oh, right, okay. I'll put it on the watch list. All right, so Wicked, The Brutalist, June Part 2, Nosferatu, and Conclave. My number 1 is Wicked.
Yeah, okay. Wicked's a great shout. I actually think Wicked looks like shit. Now, I know you love the way Wicked looked. You remarked on that, and a lot of people have said that. And there is a couple of scenes with they look like it at least. They may not be, but there's a couple of scenes with practical sets that look good. I think the rest of Wicked looks shit. It looks washed out. It looks like shit CGI. Now, that's what I think. But I do think that could be a good shout because I think the Academy are going to lap it up. But I've gone perhaps a little bit with my heart more than my head here because I've gone for what I actually think was the best looking film out of all of these, which is Dune Part 2.
Ah, interesting. So I've selected that as my second choice because, again, I feel like it's not going to get much in the leading stuff, but it will get a couple of these little ones. So Dune Part 2 is my number 2.
Yeah. My number 2 is The Brutalist.
Very good. Very good.
I can see that picking up a few awards. It does look good. I think there'll also be a bit of people going, this cost 10 million. I can't believe they've managed to turn out a film that's this good in so many directions.
Yeah.
And I think, production design might be one of those. So number 2 for The Brutalist.
Okay. Is that how much it cost? That is dirt cheap.
Really low budget, yeah. I mean, obviously 10 million.
Dirt cheap. I found that down the back of the sofa.
Yeah. And then it really is nothing when you compare it to a film like Primer, which supposedly you see estimates for as low as like $7,000 on that.
Yeah.
And they're on films on different scales, but it's still an amazingly well put together and acted and produced film, all the rest of it. However, 10 million's nothing in Hollywood money.
I think I already knew that because you told me that last week, and I said, think how cheap they could have made it if they made it shorter.
Yes, I think you did say. It was funnier this week, so so if it was paid off.
Best sound.
Okay.
A complete unknown. Dune Part 2. Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Now, I know you're definitely not going to pick Dune Part 2 because you picked out the sound to be particularly bad.
So here's the thing, though. I watched Dune Part 2 with headphones and...
Good headphones?
Well, no, not really. But I watched it with headphones and brought up the... there's a feature to boost the dialogue.
Okay.
So the way I experienced Dune Part 2 was very different to how I watched Dune Part 1. Also... what I think, I don't think the Academy thinks that.
I can always guarantee that's the case.
Yeah.
Especially about arses. Actually, no, that's the bit they might agree with most.
Yeah, I mean, there's some areas of crossover, I'm sure, probably not on
Foot
films.
fetishes, that's probably up there. But about films, no, you're probably right.
Yeah, probably not. No, it's not my number 1. My number 1 is a complete unknown.
Oh, that's my number 2, a complete unknown.
So the sound... what they were going for, exceptional on a complete unknown. My number 2 is Dune Part 2. Is that your number 1?
That was my number 1, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we move on to Best Film Editing.
Oh, edited.
Spliciness.
Oh,
yeah. How splicey is it?
They do say, don't they,
Spliciness.
an editor will make or break your film.
They do, and they also say, Carl, not to lead you, but I think the vast majority of the time, whichever wins Best Picture also wins the editing.
Well,
not all the time.
That blows this out the water.
So I have gone... oh, sorry. It's Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. Fucking hell, I feel like I'm just saying the same 5 films over and over again. Anora is my number 1.
Okay. We haven't talked about Anora yet.
We haven't.
You liked that, didn't you?
I did like that. Yeah. It's not to say it wasn't overly long, but when you look at Best Film Editing, you've got The Brutalist at 3.5 hours long, Emilia Perez, which shouldn't exist, Wicked, which is way too long.
Emilia Perez, that shouldn't exist. It's brilliant.
It's not a lot of competition here, really. The Conclave, I suppose, could win it. But Nora, I did like Nora. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with Nora.
You thought it was funny. I did not enjoy Nora. And I was ready to trash it. And then as I was writing my review, I managed to talk myself into thinking, I think it's quite good, actually.
I didn't enjoy it, but I think it's good.
Yeah, I ended up giving it a fairly positive review. It was like, yeah, that's quite smart. I still fucking didn't find it funny and hated it. But yeah, I can see it doing quite well. My number 1, this is maybe a bad choice now. And I agree with what you just said, it's way too long, but my number 1's Wicked. And again, I just feel like it's gonna maybe do okay in these more minor ones, but as you've just said, if that's sort of intrinsically linked to best film, perhaps not. But it is what it is. So your number 1 is Anora.
Yeah, and number 2 is The Brutalist.
Number 2 is The Brutalist. So my number 2 is Anora.
Okay.
Yeah.
You happy with that one?
No. No, absolutely not. But we are where we are. We are where we are.
Okay, people. There is only fucking hell. There's still 5 left. Right.
5 of the shit ones.
Jesus Christ. There's so many. So if you don't win an Oscar, you've done something wrong.
Yeah.
Come on. It's easy. Right. Best cinematography.
I mean, especially now they're like nominating so many films for like Best Picture and stuff. It's like they're giving them away in bloody packets of cornflakes. Best cinematography.
Yeah, so we've got The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, first appearance in our list. That's Angelina Jolie, right?
No idea.
I think it's Angelina Jolie. And Nosferatu. I've not seen Maria. I've not seen The Brutalist. I've not seen Nosferatu. So I'm going for Dune Part 2 as my winner.
Yeah, my number, it's a good guess. My number 1 is The Brutalist.
I was going to say that's my number 2.
Yeah, and likewise, my number 2 is Dune Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Dune Part 2, we've not talked too much about Dune Part 2. I very much liked that film. Did you find it better or worse?
It's definitely better than the first one.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely better than the first one. I would say I quite liked it. I was a little bit frustrated by it. I have some issues. I quite liked it. It is.
It's not generally your thing, though, is it? As well.
I'm not sure on that,
okay. Yeah.
Because it's got some really good themes in there, and it's a very. It's really boring to compare it to Star Wars all the time, but there's a lot of crossover in the fandom and indeed the directors and their influences and all that sort of stuff, the writers and all that sort of stuff. But it's so much more serious than Star Wars.
Yes.
So I sort of say, like, I like all the themes in this, and somebody might go, they're all the same themes in Star Wars. But I go, yeah, but Star Wars is a camp bag of shit. This is a serious film, and I appreciate the layers in it. And this, that, and the other. So yeah, I sort of quite liked it. I'll maybe go watch the third one at the cinema. I think when that comes out.
Yes, and that's the thinking. The thinking is as well that they're going to save the reward for the third one as they did for Lord of the Rings, where that's when he'll clean up at Oscars and stuff and get a load of awards for the third one. It's kind of like, well done, you've done all 3.
Yeah,
kind of thing. But yeah, that's going to be a good couple of years away at least, though. All right, we move on to best visual effects. And we have some new ones here that we haven't talked about yet. Yay! Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked, which we definitely have talked about. So, Alien Romulus, have you seen that?
No,
I've not seen it.
Can I just say, before we get into the what's on the list, there's a real omission here.
For visual effects.
Yeah.
Visual effects. What's missing?
The substance.
Visual effects, though. With that not practical mainly and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
I think visual effects will be the CGI.
So there isn't one for that's production design, maybe, is it then?
I think that is. I don't know actually.
Is it in there?
Not sure.
It's in best makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah,
it can't be
really
included
thing,
in that sort of thing. Those makeup and hairstyling, though.
If you know what you're talking about, email us at hello@MTN and tell us where practical effects would fit in the Oscar nominations. Or they've just sacked off because no one does it.
It's not in production design. So the only other one it is nominated for
makeup and hair.
Is makeup and hair. But that seems like a real conflation to me.
Who knows? That's weird.
Okay, fair enough. VFX, you're quite right.
Yeah, so visual effects. I've not seen Alien Romulus. Better Man, that's the Monkey Robbie Williams film.
Yes.
With visual effects are actually very good in that. But it is up against Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, so maybe they just get out-aped.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that. I do agree that it'll get out-aped. I've seen the fight scene where he's fighting different monkey versions of himself, and I don't think I would say that.
That got a bit messy. That did get a bit messy. Yeah. When it's just focused on a single ape, I think it's very good.
It's like, you've gone too far now.
Yeah, when he
too
tries
many apes. You dirty apes.
So, yeah. And then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes itself, I watched that on a plane. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Very good. I've enjoyed all of those movies.
Yeah, I'll get to that at some point. Yeah.
But I think Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is going to win.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For visual effects.
Yeah, so I've gone for Dune Part 2.
I might throw. Oh, I'm gonna go Alien Romulus for my second one. Fuck it. It's not been nominated for anything else, so you never know. Could get a little.
My number 2, and I think it looks like shit, but I'm not sure the Academy will agree. It's Wicked. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, then we move on to Best Live Action Short. I've not seen any of these. Anuja?
Do you want to know what they are?
I'm Not a Robot. The Last Ranger. Alien. And The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent.
So, Anuja, American Hindi short language film, gifted 9-year-old who tests her bond with her sister and mirrors the struggles of girls worldwide. No idea.
Okay.
Alien, American short drama, follows the Gomez family as they navigate the complex US immigration process.
Ooh.
I'm Not a Robot. Dutch sci-fi. A Dutch music producer, after a series of failed capture tests, plunges into a strange new reality. That sounds a bit Black Mirror-y, doesn't it? The Last Ranger. South African
Oh, yeah, that'll win.
rhino poaching and conservation efforts in a game reserve. And then what's the last
The
one?
Man Who Could Not
Man Who Could
Remain
Not Remain
Silent.
Silent. Croatian short film, harrowing true story of the Bosnian War.
Oh, shit, that'll win. All right, I'm going for I'm Not a Robot, number 1. Don't know why. Basing this on nothing.
Yeah, I've gone for the Man Who Could Not Remain Silent.
And that's why I've gone for number 2.
Good.
What about your number 2?
My number 2 is The Last Ranger.
Cool, why not?
Why not?
Right, there's only 2 left, people. And then we get on to the ones that actually people care about. Right, so Best Animated Short. Beautiful Men. We're all a fan. In the Shadow of the Cypress. Magic Candles. Wonder to Wonder. And Yuck. You don't have to explain what these are. Just blindly vote. Blindly vote. No one
Yeah,
cares.
fair enough. My number 1 is Wonder to Wonder.
For the first time in my life, I'm turning down Beautiful Men and going for In the Shadow of the Cypress.
What's your number 2?
Beautiful Men.
I
Couldn't stay away from them for long.
You couldn't stay away from them for long. So yeah, Wonder to Wonder is my number 1, and Magic Candles is my number 2.
Any reason? You got any justification there?
I can't remember now. There was. I read what they were. But yeah.
All right. And apologies to those people that have made the Best Animated Short. They're obviously loyal listeners to the podcast. We do respect
Yeah.
your artwork and yada, yada, yada. But
We're really sorry that no one cares.
Yeah. Best Documentary Short. Wow, if you think no one cares about the Best Animated Short. Whoa. Okay, we got Death by Numbers. Good name.
It's a good name.
Solid title. I Am Ready, Warden. It's fine. Incident. It's not great. Instruments of a Beating Heart. I like it. The Only Girl in the Orchestra.
Ooh. My number 1 is The Only Girl in the Orchestra.
My number 1 is I Am Ready, Warden.
All right. My number 2 is Death by Numbers.
Oh, my number 2 is Instruments of a Beating Heart. So we've pretty much covered. We've got 4 of the 5 covered.
Yeah,
so
someone's picking up some
Incident will
points.
win then?
Yes. Get your money on it,
In a
folks.
landslide. All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll get on to the ones that people give a shit about. When I said yes, what I actually meant was no, I'm not ready because the microphone was halfway across the room.
Good.
Okay, so moving on to the big 6. We start off with Best Director. Nominated for this, Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez.
It's like a bad smell. It won't leave us alone, will it?
Sean Baker for Honora. Brady Oh, wait, are we saying Corbet or Corbett? Corbett?
Yeah.
Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. Oh, Jesus. Coralie Fargier for The Substance. Apologies. And James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. So, let's have a little talk there. Amelia Perez, we've kind of made our thoughts clear on this.
Amelia Perez, the unflushable turd of the 2025 Oscars.
We've talked about Honora a little bit. We've talked about The Brutalist a little bit. The Substance, we've not really talked about much. What's your thoughts on The Substance?
I think it's very, very bad. I think that for 2 acts, it is meandering, pretentious wank. And I don't think that you can just put that on screen and pretend that you meant the deep and meaningful messages that so many people are falling over themselves to say is there. And then I think the 3rd act completely jumps the shark. And don't get me wrong, body horror is not my thing. But to me, that seems too daft for anyone to really like. It's a very one-trick sort of pony thing.
Yeah, I was very surprised by its Oscar nomination. So I actually quite enjoyed it. I was kind of watching and wincing and watching through my fingers at points, but enjoyed. It was something different. I'm not really into the body horror thing either. I thought like the whole deep and meaningful thing. I thought like the not deep and meaningful, but very much plastering it exactly what its message was very clearly.
What extremely shallow. Yeah, but so this is the thing. I'm not surprised that the Oscars like it because of that. Because I think it is a stupid enough and like almost far enough removed interpretation of Hollywood that they can laugh at it and laugh at themselves.
Yeah.
And they love stuff like that. They love that self-referential stuff. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all. And of course, Demi Moore.
Yes.
It's a chance to go, it'd be lovely to give her some recognition.
Yeah.
Which, as we said
They
before,
do like doing
isn't how that should work. But it does keep happening.
Okay. So where's your first choice going for Best Director?
I just wonder if The Brutalist isn't quite accessible enough. And so I'm going to Honora and Sean Baker.
Interesting. So my first choice is The Brutalist. And my second choice is Honora.
Yeah, and my second choice is The Brutalist.
Interesting. So we're saying no love for the substance.
No, certainly
Not here.
not the director. No.
Not here. We think our Amelia Perez boycott will continue.
Yeah.
And James Mangold. No, you've already got your Oscar for Walk the Line. Move along now.
Yeah. And honestly, a complete unknown's not good enough to be really winning any awards.
And if you want to hear
Maybe the
more
sound, but-
about what we think about A Complete Unknown, you can listen to our Date Night special.
what a pro.
Episode 1
What a pro.
in our feed. So go find that. It's short. Ish. You know,
Yeah.
by our standards.
It's like 40 odd minutes.
Yeah, it's not 40 minutes of reading out the same films again and again saying, what about their hair?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's more interesting probably as well. Okay, Best Supporting Actress. When are they just going to get rid of actor and actress and just be like, Best Lead Performance?
So, Elliot Page. Oh, no, because Elliot Page is non-binary.
No.
We need a non-binary person, don't we?
Then you're
So I was going to say, with the Odyssey coming up in 2026.
Yeah, it would have to be a non-binary performer where it was just like you have to nominate them, that you couldn't possibly not.
What are they? Look at this. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I do think it's going to take something like that to force their hand. But yeah, I agree. You need to just drop the act and roll it together.
So, Best Supporting Actress, we've got Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for 3 Minutes in Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. So, yeah, Isabella Rossellini. Not in it very much. 10 minutes of screen time.
On your laminated list?
No, she was before I laminated it. See, then. So yeah, I know it's supporting, but it's like
It's another
cameo.
lifetime. It's another. She's been around the scene for a while.
Yeah. No, so I'm not a big fan of that. I think this is where Amelia Perez will get its one main award, and it'll be Zoe Saldana.
Which is interesting because she's terrible in that film.
I quite liked her in not the second half, but after she was down on her luck and beaten down. After that, I thought she was all right.
I will give her a pass on the basis that it could be what she was fed was absolute dog dirt, and you can't polish a turd. But I thought her character was one of the worst bits about that movie.
I mean,
it made no sense. I didn't think she was particularly.
And this is very light praise, but she was the highlight of the film for me.
I don't know what I would say my highlight is.
Yeah, like if I had to pick like a positive, that would probably be it.
Yeah, we're not too far off though being aligned.
What's your number one then?
No, my number one is Felicity Jones in The Brutalist.
Okay.
I think she will win it, and she is very good.
Okay, well,
I agree with you on Isabella Rossellini's just not in it enough. I think Ariana Grande makes more of an impression on the musical side of it than she does the acting side of it. I think Monica Barbaro is suffering for what is a very bland movie.
good voice though.
Good voice. So I think Felicity Jones is a standout performance here. But I do sort of agree. My number 2 is Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. I think that might be where they go, we'll chuck you that one.
See, I've gone tactical here.
It's
Number
the least
2,
offensive.
I've gone Isabella Rossellini because I feel like they could do
Yeah,
that.
I
feel
could
like they
see
could go there. I
could
feel
do
like
it.
they might have been giving it to Zoe Saldana and then they went, no, can't
Yeah.
do that now.
Yeah, I could see it.
So yeah, that's my number 2. Now we head to Best Supporting Actor. So we've got Yura Borisov for Honora. We've got Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. We've got Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown. We've got Guy Pearce for The Brutalist and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. This, I think, might be the strongest category. Or most difficult to call category, at least.
I think I'd agree with. Yeah, it's definitely the most difficult to call. Yeah, it probably is the strongest category. Yeah.
And what have we not talked about? A Real Pain. We've not really talked about A Real Pain too much. So Kieran Culkin in that. I thought he was a very good. He was fun in the fun bits, but then he was able to flip a switch a little bit and got you kind of going.
Those two on the press tour are brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're absolutely brilliant because they're both playing all of the same personas that they're playing in the film. And they talk about it from that point of view, like the sort of friendship dynamic. But Eisenberg talks really well on the sort of how that goes into making a movie and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And it's really, really interesting. He's such a natural actor, Kieran Culkin. And Jesse Eisenberg is every bit as neurotic as he comes across on screen. So all of those sort of clashes and that genuine chemistry that those two characters had is alive and well on the press tour as well. It's really fun. I know though that that's not your favourite performance out of
It's
this
not.
lot.
So who I want to win is Yura Borisov, actually, for Honora. And actually, I really liked Edward Norton's performance in A Complete Unknown as well.
I think that going with the Borisov. I'm not saying you're going with this over this isn't your pick, but preferring the Borisov over Culkin. They were like, I just thought he was playing a brat, and he played it very well. Borisov. Oh no, it's the other guy, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say different guy.
Yes, he is.
I was like, shit, have I got that wrong?
I agree. Actually, he is good.
Yeah,
And what's his name? Is it? It's not Igor.
Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a good character. Actually,
Yeah.
and he is.
I hope
good
it's
in
that guy. I didn't even
It
look.
is,
I just
no, you're
assumed
right.
it was him.
I'm getting mixed up.
Okay.
It is that guy. Yeah, he is very good. Yeah, no, fair enough. That does make
Yeah,
sense.
he
and
was
I can
he's my
see why you
favourite
prefer
performance
that,
of it.
yeah.
Him and between him and Kieran Culkin
Yeah,
for
my
my favourite one.
mistake.
And Edward Norton. So as I say, and Jeremy Strong I thought was good in The Apprentice
Yeah,
as well.
I did not think he was good in The Apprentice.
I've not, but you've seen him in other things, and I couldn't remember anything I've seen him in. So if he's doing essentially the same kind
He's
of
doing
thing,
the same thing with like a couple of like ticks.
Hmm.
He does like a couple of like physical sort of ticks. I just found him generally quite weird in that film. Look, and I don't know about Jeremy. Not Jeremy. What's his something Cohen, isn't it? Is his character?
yes. Can't remember.
Not Stan, is it?
No, that's Sebastian Stan's in it.
Sebastian Stan, yeah. Anyway,
I can't remember. But
whatever his name
that
is.
person.
I don't know. I don't know what he's like in real life. Maybe it was a really accurate portrayal, but it just looked to me like Jeremy Strong disappearing up his own arse, and I wasn't convinced by him at all. And I definitely don't think he'll win. Have you picked him? I'd love it if you picked him because I know where my bloody wild cards are.
No. So I
I'll be
have
long shot.
picked Kieran Culkin as number one.
And I agree with that. And I think it's a really scintillating performance.
Yeah. And number two, I've gone for Edward Norton.
Yeah, can see it, but
You going Guy Pearce?
I'm going Guy Pearce because Edward Norton is he's just suffering from a really bland film. He doesn't have as much to do in sort of range as some of the others on this list.
Yeah, I think Guy Pearce
Does it really well. We both liked him in that film, but
yeah, I actually, on reflection, I think Guy Pearce might be the second most likely to win. Because
And
I think there's quite a bit of movement coming around of his look at his career, his repertoire is actually solid throughout the years as well, and he's not really got the nod previously.
He's good, Guy Pearce, yeah.
So yeah,
He's really good.
okay, we move on to the lead actors and actresses. So we'll start with the ladies first. Best actress. So we've got Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. We've got Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez. We've got Mikey Madison for Honora. We've got Demi Moore for The Substance and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here, which I've not seen. So I'm struggling to pick that one. Is there anything here we've not talked about? Not really. I'm Still Here
a little bit. And Fernanda Torres is terrific in that film. I just think that's going to have a better shot at the international feature film. And I think that
they don't like to give foreign films too much love.
No, I think that's what it feels like. I think this award will go somewhere else.
So I think it's going to go to Demi Moore for The Substance.
Yeah, I've got that too.
And number 2, I've gone for Cynthia Erivo for Wicked.
I really hope not, just for the press tour on that film. Because
she was a bit uptight.
Oh, God, it's insufferable. I think Mikey Madsen is in with a shout for Honora.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind that.
And again, I don't know that I loved that performance. She was what I just tried to say about the wrong guy in playing a very sort of one-dimensional brat.
Yeah.
Which, she was convincing in.
Yeah, she definitely embodied it.
Yeah, I just don't know that that's a brilliant performance. But then again, we're dealing with the Academy, and Demi Moore's going to win it. So what does that say? So yeah, I think she's got a chance with number 2. So you're going Cynthia Erivo as your second choice.
Erivo,
yeah. Okay.
So 2 to go. We've got Best Actor. So Adrian Brody, The Brutalist. Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
It's our last chance to do so, we should probably chat about Sing Sing.
Yeah, so the recent
and also The Apprentice. We haven't really talked about that as a film.
Yeah. So Sing Sing, I rated this 5 stars on the old Letterboxd. I had a little smile plastered on my face throughout this. I thought Coleman Domingo as a central performance was just magnetic. I felt everything he was feeling. I was just there. As a film, I very, very much enjoyed the fact that they've basically used real people throughout. Not that actors aren't people too, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
people playing themselves. People that are playing themselves, and they are pretty much entirely really fucking good. You would think that they were, again, proper actors, experienced actors of a film, because I thought they were and they seemed very realistic because they were real. But I really, really loved it.
So I only watched this, and I watched it after The Brutalist.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you watch anything after The Brutalist, you get a round of applause, really.
Well, you can imagine what time in the morning that took me to. I only watched this because I saw you'd given it 5 stars. And I knew that it was...
I'm influencer.
It was on the best actor list, and we were going to be discussing something around that. So it's only an hour 38 or something. Yeah,
breezy.
I'll pop it on and give it a go. And I knew why you'd given it 5 stars very early on, because it is so... what's the right way of putting it? It's not safe. Well, it is kind of safe. But it is so light-hearted. It's such a light-hearted approach to the situation they are in, almost whimsical. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean to say that means it's bad. But I was just like, yeah, I know why you love this, the sap.
Nothing if not predictable.
But it's just like, this isn't for me. And then you get the parole scene, pretty late on in the movie, when for the first time, really, they introduce a bit of sort of heft, a bit of clarity into the thing. And that's nice. And then you get the end scene, and then it's all real people, and the names come across the screen, and you go, oh, wow, that's...
impressive, isn't it?
It is very impressive. So I obviously didn't rate it as high as you, I think it does play it very safe, but it's an extremely watchable film.
What do you think of the central of his performance?
To the point, Coleman Domingo is fantastic in that film.
He is who I want to win for this. Win this.
Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic in it. A really great performance.
Yeah, of the performances I've seen, he gives the best performance of those ones. I've not seen Adrian Brody in The Brutalist. He's getting a lot of love.
Honestly, when I watched Sing Sing, I thought it was kind of funny. People were talking about Timothée Chalamet for this award at one point.
He's still in with a shot, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I think Adrian Brody's got his sewn up.
I think he is going to win it as well.
I think he's going to win that. He'll probably deserve it.
Yeah, he's my number one, and then Timothée is my number two.
Yeah, you're going for that. I'm going for Coleman Domingo because I think so much better than Chalamet is he. And again, that's not always the actor's fault that they're serving the film and all the rest of it. But so much better is he. I just think, like, if they do look elsewhere from Brody, I hate to live in a world where they go, yes, it's Chalamet over Coleman Domingo because he's so good.
I know. As I say, I want Coleman to win. I think it'll be Brody or Chalamet.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's really changed. I don't think Sing Sing's got a lot of momentum behind it either, which is the problem.
No, maybe not, but it's that's my number two. We're rolling the dice.
All right, we'll get to the biggie now then. Best Picture. So, Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, June Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. So
What's your favourite film off this list?
My favourite film is probably June Part 2. That's the one I would pick. That would be my top if I was actually on how much I enjoyed them.
That's mine too.
Really? Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That is in part because I do think it's such a weak year.
There was a couple on here that I watched that I was a little bit underwhelmed by that I was looking forward to. So Nickel Boys in particular.
Yeah.
A Complete Unknown as well. I thought had potential to be very good before I watched it, and I was just like... Ugh.
So, quick question before we talk about Nickel Boys then, because we haven't spoke about that one
yet.
Besides Emilia Perez, what's your least favourite on this list?
I don't know, because all the rest are quite bunched together. It's difficult. Probably A Complete Unknown.
I think mine's The Substance.
The Substance, my order is probably I say probably. I've just literally submitted a ballot that had these in order. So, June Part 2, Anora, Conclave, The Substance, Wicked, Nickel Boys, A Complete Unknown, Emilia Perez. And I've not seen The Brutalist, and I've not seen I'm Still Here.
Yeah, The Brutalist it's up there. So Nickel Boys, I'm with you. Disappointing. Some obvious heft in the story.
I really wanted to go with it.
Because of the way it sets off as well, with that heft and the subject matter, you think this is going to it's going to pull me in easy.
Yeah.
Pull me in easy. I mean, there's a bit that jumped out to me. They're talking about the draft. And I just think, wow, this is 1960.
Yeah.
And we've got second-class citizens in the quote-unquote developed world, and yet we will send them off to fight for the country.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you have that, and you think, oh, it's going to pull you in, and the whole POV thing is weird.
Yeah.
It leaves acting off the camera. I mean, I feel like the POV thing actually only really exists for the payoff at the end.
Yeah, that's what I said. I saw why they did it at the end.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. You've ruined your film.
It just took me out of it. That's I think it was solely that did it. I think as well. I tried my best, but I struggled to get engaged with it.
I'm sort of with you. It's a disappointment.
I think we've talked about all of the other ones. So, what's your number one, Carl?
Conclave, maybe. We sort of
Conclave. Yeah, we brushed over Conclave a little bit. So,
we did both like that, as I say.
Yes, I found it very entertaining, but almost trashy.
Yeah, I think we both came
at
that from the same point of view as well. We both mentioned Dan Brown, which I found a little disappointing because it set off a bit more sensible and serious.
I thought you meant it's disappointing because I said it first.
Well, that too. And I thought, it's going to be a bit more of a sort of serious thriller than that, and it doesn't. It devolves into that, but that's fine.
And the ending was a little disappointing as well.
It's a bit Hollywood, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, watchable. But again, a real sign of what a weak year it is that's in the.
I never would have thought Amelia Perez would have been Pope.
Yeah.
What's your number one, Carl?
Do you know? Right, and I didn't pick up on that. Amelia Perez, a song about a transgender Mexican gangster.
A song about?
Sorry, a film about. Well, many songs about.
Many songs about,
and a film about a transgender Mexican gangster. Not the first film I've watched featuring a transgender Mexican gangster, which is a fairly amazing sentence to say out loud. And then you've just said that about Conclave, and I'm like, it's not even the only one of these in the Oscars race this year.
Not gangster, though, I suppose. That's the only thing.
Yeah, they're just wearing a different uniform, Simon, etc., etc., etc.
Anyway, what's your number one?
My number one is... I can't see anything else. It's The Brutalist.
See, I've gone for Nora just because of its recent wins at other award ceremonies that are generally a good indicator.
Yes.
So I've gone for that. I mean, I've gone for Brutalist number 2.
It's solid logic, which is why I have gone for Nora as number 2. So we've switched around there.
All right. Well, let's take a break and then we'll come back with our jokers and long shots. Okay, so we are going to place our special tokens on our bets, predictions for the Oscars. So we have 2 to play each. The first is a joker. So that's the one we are playing on what we are most confident that we have predicted. And if our joker wins, we double the points. So if we predict the first place right, we get 6 points. If we predict the second place and it comes in, then we get 2 points. Which one are you going to place your joker on, Carl?
Best supporting actor. I think that Kieran Culkin wins it. I think that's pretty safe. And if it doesn't go to Culkin, I can't see it going anywhere else than Guy Pearce for The Brutalist.
Yeah, so I've also gone for Best Supporting Actor as my Joker as well. I'm a bit scared that my second choice might not come home.
So obviously your number one choice is Culkin. Yeah. If he doesn't win, is it really going to be Edward Norton?
Oh.
I think you're stacking, you're banking on Kieran there.
I've maybe gone a bit wrong there. Okay, our second chip that we're playing here is the long shot. So this is the one that we think the other person has got most wrong. So if they completely strike out so they don't get first or second, then we get 3 points. So the one I think Carl is least likely to get anything on is editing.
And this really all stems from the fact I've put Wicked down.
Yes.
And I can't see that winning Best Picture. And if you said that's linked to editing, it doesn't look good, does it? But I have got Nora down as a second choice.
Yeah, so it should be. So really, I want The Brutalist to win Best Picture.
Yeah, you do. You want The Brutalist to win Best Film Editing and Best Picture, probably. And then you can bag yourself an extra 3 points there.
What's your long shot?
My long shot is...
Which one?
I think you've absolutely shot the bed on Best Visual Effects. Which is funny because I didn't even know what they meant when we did the category.
All right, Best Visual Effects. What did I go for? I went for Alien Romulus. Oh, yeah, and Kingdom Planet of the Apes. Yeah, that's a good one to bet on.
Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, you've gone first.
Yeah. That is a good one to bet on.
Alien Romulus.
Dune Part 2 and Wicked.
June's in there, and then Wicked's in there.
Yeah, that could be an easy 3-pointer for you there.
Yeah, I could be bagging myself an extra 3 points there, baby.
Oh, all right, Carl. So we better get ready to stay up late and do a little watch along, do you think? Because this is going to have gone down so well reading out them. We'll just record the full 5 hours of Oscars or however long it takes.
How many listeners does this episode need before we commit to doing a watch along?
Oh, good one. I don't really want to say the number out loud because it sounds so sad that that's the target.
Yeah.
At least 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. It's good to have goals, isn't it?
Yeah. It's good to have goals.
1,000.
Anyway, Carl, you got anything else for us?
No.
All right, well, that's all we've got. So please do rate us, follow, subscribe, give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening. Our Bluesky, Instagram and Twitter is MTN Movie Pod. Our YouTube channel is @MovieTheNeedle. And you can also find our page on Facebook and some occasional TikTok videos at movie.the.needle. All details are in the show description, so please do follow and comment wherever you are. So for me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
We'll see you for our regular programming every Friday, wherever you get podcasts. And remember, we don't know what we're talking about.